This is a story about a remarkable woman called Julie. Julie was born 59 years ago in a little town called Redcliffe. She had two sisters and a brother. When she was 3, her family moved to Morwell, where her sister was born. When she turned 4.5, her mother could not cope with so many children, so she put Julie in a home. Julie quite enjoyed living in a home. She slept in a cot and the staff treated her like a baby. She was very spoiled. One of the staff used to mother her. This staff member used to take her to church on Sunday. She lived in a shop, which happened to be a lolly shop. Her dad used to carry her down the stairs and let her choose the lollies. The people there were like family. There were 45 of them. She never knew her real family, as this is where she spent most of her life. When she was about 16, her mother decided she would be useful at home and could help look after the house, so she went back. It was pretty terrible and strange going home. It was like having everything she knew taken away from her. Julie could not cope with going home and she had a nervous breakdown. This took her a very long time to get over. When Julie was 18 years old, she and her sister were both unhappy at home and plotted to leave. They saved enough money to catch a taxi to Melbourne, and while their mother was out of the house, they booked the taxi to Melbourne. When they got there, they went to the only place they knew and booked to stay the night. The police arrived at the door one day and after checking their ages and birth certificates decided it was legal for them to leave home. They boarded in Melbourne with a nice family for years. When Julie was about 24, she met a man called Roger, who she married 2 years later and is still married to now. She had 2 daughters and now has 2 grandsons and twin granddaughters. Julie's 18-year-old grandson has a form of Asperger's syndrome and lives with Julie and Roger. This can be very challenging for them at times. When Julie was 3.5, she was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. She now uses an electric wheelchair for mobility. There were 3 of them in the family with muscular dystrophy, which is why her mother found it so hard to cope. Julie's mother put her in a Urella home because she found it hard to accept her and didn't think she would live a normal life. They didn't think she would live past her teens and thought it was not necessary for Julie to have an education as she has a disability. Julie was never given much of an opportunity to be educated. It was believed that as long as she could read and write, that was all that mattered. At age 38, when her kids had grown up, she went back to school and completed her VCE. In 2006, Julie began the Certificate 4 in Disability course at Swinburne's Croydon campus. Julie says that she has learned a lot from the course and enjoys the fact that other students talk to her like she is another person and not different because of her disability. Julie hopes that the other students doing the course have learnt from her that other people with a disability can lead a fulfilling life if given the opportunity, and have the same hopes and desires that everybody else has.